SpongeBob was having very fruity gay sex with Squidward. That was how this whole thing started. First, Squidward was putting his 8 tentacles in SpongeBob's hundreds of holes. It was wet and squishy, but could also be soggy and sloppy. The perfect mix. Just how Squidward liked it. There was nothing better than his 8 tentacles being shoved into SpongeBob's slimy holes. In and out, over and over, until he either came or until SpongeBob ran out of water or cum, depending on how the night had gone. Tonight was different, though, because a red crab with nothing better to do besides counting his never-ending pile of money or maybe steal old women's panties. But that was beside the point. Tonight, Eugene Krabs wanted to find out why his only 2 employees were exhausted all the time. While following them as they left their workplace wasn't his smartest idea, Krabs knew that there was no other way. Every time he tried to ask one or the other, Squidward would scoff and look away, and SpongeBob would do his loud laughing that Krabs found more than annoying. His 2 employees that he severely underpaid needed to have more energy at work, or else his money would slowly dwindle. So that's how he ended up staring outside SpongeBob's window, watching as SpongeBob plowed into his cock's many holes. A piece of Krabs wanted to jump in through the window and yell at the 2 of them, and the other half wanted to go in and get his share of fun times. SpongeBob surely did have plenty of holes to spare, and Krabs knew that he didn't want to miss out on his rare opportunity at a fun time. A stray thought crossed his mind. What would it feel like to have both of his crab cocks in those holes? Would it feel wet and gooey, or more on the slick and loose side? He would feel himself jump at the thought, and he bit back his crabby moan. SpongeBob noticed, pointing at the window and laughing his weird sponge laugh. Squidward jumped and shouted, "What the fuck?" in his nasally voice. Krabs stumbled into the room, breaking the window to SpongeBob's bedroom, face planting into the ground. He wanted to groan out angrily in pain, but a meek moan escaped him instead. Krabs felt weak and submissive at this moment. Sitting up and looking at his 2 employees, he was surprised to see only Squidward looking mildly annoyed. SpongeBob instead had a giant smile on his face. When did he not? And started laughing. Was it at Krabs himself, or was it SpongeBob just a weirdo? So, like, "Are you gonna join?" or Squidward asking, crossing his arms and looking up pointedly. This would have been a surprising sight to see, but Krabs remembered that Squidward was buried deep inside SpongeBob's holes, 8 of them to be specific, and he flushed at the reminder. Nervously, Krabs stood up and nodded. He waddled over in his crab-like manner and situated himself in front of SpongeBob, pulling his 2 crab cocks out of his pants. This was going to be fun, if SpongeBob stopped staring at him with his wide blue eyes and never-ending smile. Krabs shuddered as he put his 2 crab cocks inside of the holes, and SpongeBob began laughing again, whenever he was going to fish inside of them, if he laughed or not.